catalogue vendors believe that their product creates value. However, it's the business context that data catalogue customers are in which creates the value for the solution. Your business must be in one of 4 contexts where a data catalogue can add value before you will see any reason to invest. No purchase is random, and for enterprise software, there must be a strong drive to change before an investment is made. Typically, there's one person striving for change, and everyone else's role is to challenge this decision. If you're watching this video, it's likely some events have already occurred to trigger your interest in data catalogues. At one point, you were unaware of the technology or uninterested in finding out more about it. You could have been bombarded with marketing materials, but they simply bounce off your brain. One or more trigger events must have happened in your organisation to make you realise the existing ways of working are no longer working. The trigger events alone are not enough context to cause you to place value on a data catalogue. All they can do is cause your mind to be open to exploring possible solutions to improve your situation. As you consume marketing materials and see options for data catalogues, your brain then simulates a range of future outcomes for you to consider. Once you have the right set of triggering events and a set of desired outcomes you care about, then you're ready to buy a solution. You can think of this like a hand of cards in a game of poker. Imagine your business is struggling with 2 challenges and sees 2 opportunities. This creates a struggling moment because you want to solve your problems. However, this set might not be a full hand, and the momentum to change is not strong enough. In this case, you do not get funding. Once you collect the whole set of pushes and pulls, of triggers and desired outcomes, then you're able to see the value in the solution, and your purchase will happen readily. From our data catalogue research, we discovered 4 unique contexts in which a company will value a data catalogue enough to make the investment. In these contexts, these customers saw enough value in the solution to pay for it and make progress. Unless your firm is in one of these contexts, you won't get the budget or the time to invest, regardless of how much you personally want a data catalogue. Whilst we've described the context in more detail elsewhere, here's what you need to know. In the compliance context, the trigger is obviously a regulation that your firm needs to comply with. However, regulations such as GDPR apply to hundreds of thousands of businesses, and not all of them have invested in a data catalogue to solve it. This is an example where one trigger, GDPR regulation coming into force, might cause you to look at solutions, but unless you see a similarly sized firm in your market fined for non-compliance, it's very hard to see the full value of a solution. The context with the smallest hand and the least number of trigger events and desired outcomes is help me follow the plan. The only triggers here are stagnant growth in the business, followed by a plan from a consultant you trust that lays out the need to be data-driven. The outcomes are a function of the plan. However, it is essential that you see a roadmap you believe in from your vendor and that you believe that they will be a good partner that can hold your hand along this journey. The triggering events for Help Me Be More Efficient take a long while to cause you to invest. They're all irritations and annoyances, like having inconsistent reports or working overtime to try and fix a data issue. Over time, these triggers build up, with enough different voices in the business saying, enough is enough. You still usually need to go through a full financial year end and be in reasonably good financial health before the purchase trigger is pulled. The last context can trigger a quick decision. Typically, the data leaders have been asking for investment in tools for quite a while. However, the business has not been financially able to justify the purchase. The trigger here comes from using data to drive up business growth and create new revenue streams. This allows business leaders to see the value in data. And when the growth in new customers overwhelms the data team and they're unable to provide insights to maintain this growth, you will quickly find money to protect the growth at all costs. The contexts create an opportunity for a data catalogue to provide value. However, a data catalogue is not the only solution that could help overcome these struggles. Many firms continue to invest in manual processes, overtime, or staff training to get the same results. The business benefits are context dependent. You should use the knowledge of these contexts to make better decisions about the approach you're going to take to achieve your desired outcomes.